Hey guys, now there are lots of different variations on the blues, but I think what I may have for you here is a super easy way of playing blues. I like to find these ways of playing blues that make it super accessible, and actually this one only has 2 chord shapes. Now, what is a bit tricky about it is it will require some focus on your plectrum skills as well, so we want to make sure we get that in here. But let me just quickly run through it so you can hear it. Now, this is a slow blues. It sounds a little bit Hawaiian to me, as if I should be wearing a hat on my head with pineapples and mangoes and stuff. So what we do is we've got one shape, and this is the one shape here. Now you could think of this as looking like an A major 7 shape. Basically it's a useful shape that you're going to need a lot. You could think of it as like as a D7 shape. If you can play a D7 like that, you can play this shape here. But what I'm doing is I'm playing it here on the 7th and the 6th fret here. Now don't worry about memorizing all this, guys, because I will include a PDF for you to be able to download. And then what I'm doing is I'm essentially playing an A6 chord here. So there is an A6. If I was going to play the full shape, it would be, there's the A, there's the A, there's the 5R3, and there would be adding the 6 on, but we're not using the whole shape. We're just using this little part of it here. So what we're going to do is we'll play the A6 here. Then what happens is we move this down here. Now we could think of this as being a 9 chord. I have thought of that as a 9 chord, kind of being a synonymous idea, but if we were to be technically correct, it's dominant 7th with a sus2 on there as well. But look, let's not argue about it. We're gonna call this the 6, and this is gonna be called the 9. I'm just gonna call it that, yeah, because the thing is, it still works, and we can argue about this till the cows come home, but what matters is that we have a super cool blues that we can play it. Now, if you just notice my fingers, I'm at the dots here, and this is the beautiful thing about this blues, is it enables me to use all the open strings. This is where the picking comes in, guys. So if I go like this, I'm going to play the A string, which is the root note of the chord, twice, and then what I do is I strum the 3-note chord that I have here, there, that little shape there, that little chord, I strum that there, and then I slide it down. Isn't that dreamy? I could put a bit of wobble on the end of it as well. Yeah? That's the whole of the idea, really. So when we play a 12-bar blues, generally what happens is we have 4 bars of A. So we would go 1 bar, 2 bars, 3 bars, that's 4 bars. And what we would do next is we'd have 2 bars of D, which is on the screen underneath, you can see there. Now this is going to do exactly the same chord sound, but this is the cool thing, we're just going to use 1 finger for this, and it's in the same fret, 7th fret. I'm holding down the G, the B, and the E string here at the 7th fret, like that. It's just a little chord like that. But look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play that D string, the open D string. I'm muting out the E string and the A string with my palm down here and my thumb up here. So I go twice on that D, and I strum through there, and I slide down there again. So listen, strum it twice if I want. I could even play it like this. I could play it like that. So that would be the 2 bars. So I'll just play those D6, and we're going to call this D9. Really, it's a 7 with a sus2, but we're not going to split hairs about this yet, because if I was going to think about that, there would be the 9 if I was playing the full voicing, but it isn't. I'm playing this bit. So we need 2 bars of the D, which is going to be chord 4. So that's those 2 bars there. Then what we'd do is go back to the A again for 2 bars. So we go. Does this make sense? So we've only used 2 chords so far. Let me play through those all the way through, and you get this. Now what we need is the 5 chord. And if we think about it, we could even use the L7 grid to help us. 1, 4, 5 is there. So that's 1, 4, and 5. The 5 is going to be an E. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this open E string now for that bass note idea. And I'm just going to transfer that idea that I had here with one finger up a step. So I go 2 on that open E string. Just slide that down 2 frets. Look. There, you can see. Now what I need is 1 bar of E, 1 bar of D. You can see I didn't need to move that finger, did I? And then I get 2 bars of A. Now, to make it more interesting, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a kind of a shock chord right at the end that's got a lot of tension in it. So when I go back to the A, it's going to feel really resolved. And that shock chord is this Hendrix 7 sharp 9 chord. This one here. So instead of just doing 2 lots of the A, yeah, which is this A6 to this A9, yeah, I'm going to shift to that E7 sharp 9 there, and then that gives me a nice contrast when I go back to that A. Let me just run you through those last 4 bars. So it goes E, D, A with that shock ending. So we're going to go E to the D to the A. There we go. We don't have to put that in. You don't have to put it in there. You could just carry on doing the A, but you will notice that you end up going round with 6 bars of the A, which can be a bit dull. If you want that in there, just nice, you could solo over the top of it, put it on your looper. Sounds amazing. Let's run through all 12 bars and we can see we've got the A, and this is A6 to A9. Like I say, it's a 7 with a sus2 for the pedants out there, but all these chords, even this E, that's an E6, and this is an E7 sus2 as well, but I'm just going to call it a 9, look, because it ties in with that 9 chord there. That's what I'm seeing when I see that shape as well. So, look, let's do it all the way through. We're going to go A, another one, another one, another one. Here comes D. Yeah, another one. Back to A. Another one. Here comes E. To a D. Back to A. And then we start again, guys. And you just cycle that around. Put it through your looper. Have a lot of fun with it. But that is super cool blues that you can just use at your jam session, warming up with your bandmates or whatever. It's just a lot of fun to be had. Now, if you enjoyed this, don't forget there is a link in the video description below to get the PDF for this. It's free. And if you want to learn more blues like this, then you might want to be clicking on this video here, because this is another one that you can add to your repertoire and jam with your friends with.